to school. We had to wear dresses. And I remember having little bare legs and having to walk in the snow, and then they finally said we could put pants on under the dress on real cold days. But I remember not being able to wear pants at school when it was really cold.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Here.
Wow.
We've come a long way.
Yes, we have. To me, freedom means being able to do whatever we want whenever we want to do it. And I didn't really appreciate that until last year. I was working on a project with a woman that I know, and her director or whatever, producer, whatever, was in Serbia. And so I would talk to him on the phone. I mean, not on the phone, on the internet occasionally. And one day he typed to me, he had a daughter and a child, and he typed to me, "We may lose our connection. The bombing is very close today."
How scary.
And I thought to myself, oh my God. And I looked out my window, and here it is, a beautiful day and quiet, and birds were chirping this morning. And I thought, oh my God, it really made me look at our country in another light, just those words. And when he walks his wife to the grocery store and they don't have a vehicle, and to make sure that she's safe so that nobody takes her. I mean, not even from the bombs, but so nobody takes her and the child. Just so it gave me a whole different way to look at it. So I would like to read a quote from the internet, and then Robin, you have a poem that you're going to read.
Yeah.
And I do too.
Great.
Thank you. People cannot be free unless they are willing to sacrifice some of their interests to guarantee the freedom of others. The price of democracy is an ongoing pursuit of the common good by all of the people. Saul Alinsky said that. So not only can we thank our military for taking darn good care of us everywhere, but their parents...
Right.
And their brothers and sisters and everybody that is affected by somebody that's in the military, somebody that is touched, because that's a big sacrifice.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Very much so.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's hear your poem.
Okay, so in my career, we'll call it, as a poet, I like to try different forms, and there was a form called a pantoum.
I just like that word.
It's a really cool word, pantoum. And it's basically numbered lines in different order. And I was learning about pantoums the day that the Twin Towers came down. And I wrote this on that day. Children stopped playing, and voices echoed down the quiet streets. Darkness came too quickly, on a day like so many others and unlike any other. And voices echoed down the quiet streets, our eyes on the media and our hearts stopped. On a day like so many others and unlike any other, we all tasted the ash and death and fear. Our eyes on the media and our hearts stopped, the duolith falling into dust. We all tasted the ash and death and fear, and we closed our eyes and prayed. Children stopped playing, the duolith falling into dust, and we closed our eyes and prayed. Darkness came too quickly.
Oh, that chokes me up. That's how it was.
Yeah. I remember just listening to broadcasts and how everyone pulled their children in off the streets. And these streets were quiet, and I was talking about working at the telephone company and how everything just went silent. It's like everything in our country went silent for a minute, and how frightening that was.
And the broadcasters were crying on air, and yes.
And I mean, and people just didn't believe that it would happen to us, that we were too big, too strong, too...
Indestructible.
And we are all destructible. We are all delicate, beautiful human beings.
Yeah, and it's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wrote mine in my funk that I woke up in this morning.
But that's okay.
Yes.
It's okay because it came from a really honest feeling place, I'm going to assume.
Yes. Riding, it's called Freedom Changed. Riding my bike to the end of the street, coming in when it was time to eat, meeting my cousin at the overpass. Simple freedoms do not last. Riding the bus to high school class, my first car, a white Impala. I was free till it was stolen from me. Married and moving out west meant freedom to be me. Going to school, getting paid to be my best, living my dream, escaping from a man who was mean. Being able to go where I want, be who I am, laugh and cry when I choose, having a home, friends, and family that I can often see. On that day, my freedom changed.
That's awesome,
yes,
Deb.
indeed.
Thank you.
I think all of our idea of freedom changed that day.
Mm-hmm.
And not just for us, for my Muslim friends.
Oh, yes.
It changed a lot.
And how it changed for them. Oh, my gosh. Yes. And look at even, if you flew before then and not too long after that, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
They went through your bags. You couldn't carry. That was when the samples came in handy because you could only carry those little samples of everything. Oh, what else? All those things.
Yeah.
We got married in 2011, and they were still X-raying bags and going through them and stuff. And I had my father gave me an Swiss Army knife, and I carry it with me all the time. I always have it. You never know when you're going to need a corkscrew, for God's sake, or something sharp. And I didn't even think about it. And we were getting on the plane, and they X-rayed my bag, and that Swiss Army knife was in there. And they pulled me aside, and I had to answer some questions, and I told them it was a knife from my dad and they were going to take it, and I said, you can't take that, you don't understand, it was from my dad.
Right.
And so they let me mail it back to myself. I got to go to the concession stand there and mail it back to myself.
Right.
And then on the way back, they gave us this candle, and Steve's corsage, I think, those boutonnieres that they give you, I think that was in my backpack too. And again, I got pulled aside. I think they thought the candle was plastics.
Oh,
I think.
wow.
So they looked at the candle, and they looked at the safety pin, straight pin. They told me it was because of the straight pin that they pulled me. But I think it was because of that candle. Really. So, and before that, those things I would have just been able to go right through with either one of those things. So that really changed. What else can you think of that really changed?
Have you noticed what happened today? For airport travel? They've got a facial recognition program for everybody. You can put a passport picture, and you stand in front of it, and the camera will look at you and look at the passport picture and see whether or not it's the same. And if it's been altered, they'll know. It's all computer now.
Huh.
And it's going on, and they'll say that they'll keep these pictures for 14 days. Yeah.
For every passenger.
For every passenger.
The United States travel as well.
Well, right now they're just beginning it. All right, they I guess they started it at LAX.
Which is where my son always flies out of.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah, passport folders, or I guess boarding passes don't have pictures on it.
So you have to have a driver's license?
Something like that, yeah. Something with
interesting. Picture. Well, the one good thing about that is that they'll be able to tell if it's been altered, which is really good.
Right.
Boy, I don't know how. What's his name? That series of shows where he always has those different IDs, and what's his? Bourne? Yeah, Jason Bourne, Bourne Identity. I don't know what he's going to do now.
Well, you see these spooks that have all the passports and make sure that the passport matches, right?
Right. Yes. So that's interesting. So what else can you think of?
I don't know. I think just this giant blanket of fear was just laid over the entire country, and things have never been the same since. They've not been the same. So I just try to put as much love out there as I can.
Right. That's all we can do.
I mean, that's my job, you know.
You know, it's going to be interesting for me, and then we probably should talk about something later because this is very depressing. It's going to be interesting to me, like in how children that weren't alive then are going to be learning about this in history books. What are they going to say?
Well, because everything in history books is true.
Right. So, right.
It's already altered?
Yeah, it's already altered.
You're speaking to a Native American woman. Everything in history books must be true. It must be.
That's
so
what
if
they
it's
say,
in there,
isn't it?
if it's in there, it's got to be. It's
And
on
how
the
are they
internet.
going to play it up?
It's true.
How are they going to? What angle are they going to take? What are they going to say?
I don't know. I
it's
guess
going to be interesting.
Whatever,
isn't it?
whatever serves the hierarchy.
Right.
Time.
So I wonder if it's in history books right now. It has to be in modern history.
Yeah, I
That
don't
would
know.
be interesting to look up. I'm going to have to look into that because I just think that might be an interesting thing. So, freedom. Let's get back to something good. Freedom is a good thing, and I'm so grateful every day that we live in the United States. And sometimes it's people have a hard time finding something to be grateful for, and one of the things I've learned in law of attraction is to find simple things, because there's always something to be grateful. The sun is out, the birds are chirping. We live in a free country.
There's coffee in the house.
There's coffee in the house. You had a coffee little
I had a coffee disaster. I did.
Disaster.
I had a coffee disaster. I had been out of town for a few days.
This is a nightmare, people.
It is. It is a huge nightmare. You know, and I love my husband, and he's so cute. You know, he really is so cute, but he's not a shoppy kind of guy, you know.
Shoppy?
So he's not too shoppy. I mean, he will if I ask him, but you know, when you get up in the morning and there's no coffee, it was really hard not to get a divorce that day.
Oh,
It
really?
was so hard.
It's
It was
sad.
so hard.
But
you know,
you
because
did it because that's kind of woman you are.
Yeah, well, you know,
You're a strong couple.
We scavenged. We scavenged the freezer for beans, and I found the French press. It took a while, but out of desperation, I'm like a hound dog with coffee, so, you know, my sniffer was going. I was like, there is coffee in this house somewhere. There must be. There's got to be.
The moral of that story is right now, go to where you keep your coffee grounds, put some in a little freezer bag, and put it in the
hide them.
freezer.
Yes.
Yes, because you're going to need them when you least
There will be a
know
day.
that.
I'm gonna, when I get home, I'm gonna do that.
There will be a day.
There will be a
and
day.
you will be so thankful.
So thankful. And,
Yes.
and they'll say, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Devolution.
I only swore just a little
Yeah, I
while
bet.
I was looking.
And first thing in the morning, that's not something to be messing with.
It wasn't good.
No.
I mean, I'm a pretty happy person, but that was just not
No.
a good thing.
No. But there it was.
There was.
That's good. So, so I have a couple of quotes that I copied from the internet, and a couple of them really surprised me. Who said them?
Okay.
So this one I think was the biggest surprise. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. In a million years, you'll never guess who said that. I'm going to start timing. I'll tell you when a million years is up. Go.
I don't even have a guess.
Nelson Mandela.
Really?
Yes. I'm going to read it again. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never would even picture him even as having money in any quote.
No, but the reason is that that freedom thing is in there, and you know he's good with freedom stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
So that your Jewish
But
mother
you know-
has to come out now.
That's
That
right.
Nelson,
He was
he's so good
with
with the freedom stuff. Get him some soup.
And you know what?
some
Have
soup.
some soup and a cup of coffee.